91st minute. Bayern need a goal, and of course, it's Harry Kane stepping up. The net ripples, the crowd erupts, and yet, outside the Allianz, his name barely trends. How can football's most reliable match winner stay invisible in the era of hype? That's where this story begins. With the numbers that prove Kane isn't just great, he's redefining what clutch really means.
Harry Kane, what's your thoughts on him?
I think he's developed over the last few years. He's developed, and he's clever in terms of the positions he's picking up in. But I think he lost a little bit of sharpness. Now, for me, he's the greatest ever England number 9.
Is he?
I think I could do things which potentially he couldn't. I was nastier than him as well. But in terms of goal scorer, he creates goals. He scores every game. And does he play well all the time? No. For me, he's above everyone.
To understand Harry Kane's invisibility, you need to rewind to London, Tottenham Hotspur under grey skies, and a centre-forward doing everything right, while being told it's never enough. From 2014 onwards, he turned from academy prospect to one of Europe's deadliest forwards. Season after season, 30 goals, golden boots, captain's armband. Yet, with every strike came the same echo: no trophies. He led the line when Spurs reached the 2019 Champions League final. Playing through injury, they lost 2-0 to Liverpool, and the image stuck. Kane walking past the trophy he couldn't touch. 3 years later, England reached the World Cup quarter-finals. Kane faced France, 12 yards out, one penalty already buried. The second went high. That miss carried the same weight as Tottenham's drought. Suddenly, elite consistency meant nothing next to a single failure moment. When his move to Bayern Munich came, it was painted as an escape rather than ambition. Critics called it as a search for easy trophies, a shortcut to legitimacy.
People keep talking about Harry Kane and trophies. Do you think what if Harry Kane goes to the Bayern Munich and wins the Bundesliga?
But football has a long memory for irony. On Kane's arrival, Leverkusen produced the perfect season, denying Bayern a 12th straight league title. The English striker's record-breaking debut, 36 Bundesliga goals, was erased by one storyline: Kane can't win. Throughout it all, the stats were identical to any definition of greatness, yet the narrative was a cage. Each immaculate finish seen through a lens of what he hadn't done, a man punished for consistency rather than inspired by chaos. Underneath that noise, however, something else had been building, a statistical truth even louder than silverware. Clutch isn't about highlight reels or viral moments, it's about what happens when the game's knife edge cuts deep. In footballing terms, it means goals that directly change the result, winning from a draw, salvaging a point from defeat, or delivering in the final minutes when tension ruins lesser finishers. By that measure, Harry Kane isn't just good, he's generational. Across his career, more than a third of his goals have come within margins of one goal or less. At Bayern alone, he's scored decisive goals in 26 separate matches, games that would have ended differently without him. Combine that with his timing. In Bayern, he scored more goals after the 75th minute than any forward in the league since his debut. Raw numbers tell the modern story. As of October 2025, Kane stands on 103 goals for Bayern Munich in all competitions. He became the fastest player in the 21st century to reach 100 goals for a top 5 European club, doing it in 104 games. For context, Cristiano Ronaldo reached that milestone in 105, Erling Haaland in the same. Kane beat them both. In domestic play, the feats pile higher.
Scoring 100 goals for Bayern in 104 games. Absolutely phenomenal, and I think he enjoys it himself.
Fastest to 70 Bundesliga goals, achieved in only 67 appearances, each a world-class metric, achieved not in youth but at 31, when most strikers start winding down. Even this new 2025-26 season tells the same story: 6 matches, 11 goals, 3 assists. He's contributing nearly every 38 minutes of football. And while Haaland headlines slick marketing videos,
Erling braucht Haaland,
and Mbappe dominates sponsor campaigns,
Je suis rapide.
How fast am I? Let's see.
Kane quietly rewrites records in Munich. What defines his clutch ability isn't merely numbers, it's patterns under pressure. 18 consecutive Bundesliga penalties, all scored.
Harry Kane, so deadly, from 11 metres.
It's Harry Kane, as cool as you like!
Harry Kane, Europe's top penalty taker.
No other player in Germany's league history has managed a perfect streak that long. Each penalty is the purest isolation of pressure, and Kane walks through it like a shadow brushing wind. His conversion rate under stress is statistical serenity. Then comes his evolution. At Tottenham, his brilliance came from occupying space in the box, timing runs, finishing first time. At Bayern, it matured. He drops deeper, almost into midfield, drawing defenders and igniting attacks. He's not only a goal finisher, but an architect. In matches where midfielder Jamal Musiala has been absent, Kane's progressive passing is ranked in the top 5 percentile among all strikers in Europe. He touches the ball 30 or 40 times a game, dictates tempo, yet still appears inside the 6-yard box when it matters most. That duality, creator and finisher, makes his clutch numbers even more staggering. Statistically, this combination of late goals, decisive outcomes, and creative involvement puts him in a category by himself. Adjusted for game state and competition level, his win impact rating, the measure of points directly secured by his goals, is higher than that of Haaland, Mbappe, or Lewandowski over their recent seasons. Bayern analysts revealed that nearly a third of the team's total league points since his arrival trace back to Kane's direct scoring moments. But beyond analytics, it's the feel. Watch him between 80 and 90 minutes. Small touches, head swiveling, timing every run as defenders fade. There's nothing theatrical, just composure. He doesn't chase the game, he waits for it to breathe and then decides it. That's the hallmark of true clutch play, calm as chaos rises. The numbers frame him as one of football's few certainties. Kane now averages nearly a goal a game at Bayern, with most of them coming when results still hang in the balance. Every statistical lens, expected goals, conversion under pressure, efficiency per minute, screams elite reliability. Yet, public perception still tilts elsewhere. Maybe it's because clutch, by definition, hides in plain sight. When you expect someone to deliver, the drama fades. When a player always scores, his greatness becomes background noise. For Kane, clutch isn't an occasional miracle, it's a habit. And in a sport obsessed with hype cycles and chaos, habit rarely trends. That's the paradox his career faces. A striker whose brilliance lies in consistency, whose decisive moments arrive too routinely to feel dramatic. The data proves his dominance, but perception hasn't caught up. Which raises the next question: why does football look past its most authentic finisher? The answer lies not on the pitch, but in how the sport rewards spectacle over silence. What keeps Harry Kane from being celebrated the way his numbers deserve isn't performance, it's perception. Football has become addicted to noise. Players with brands bigger than their clubs dominate conversation, and leagues have been turned into stages for off-pitch drama as much as sport. Kane doesn't play that game. He isn't posting cryptic social media captions or sparking transfer chaos. He works, he scores, and then he goes home. That silence in a business built on spectacle reads as invisibility.
People just expect you to do it, but I still have to work really hard to maintain that.
Well, I won't ask you about Alan Shearer Premier League record. I will just congratulate you on this one, Harry.
Being at Bayern complicates it further. The Bundesliga has long carried a reputation that unfairly dulls its accomplishments. For Premier League audiences, German dominance looks easy, as if every goal scored there is discounted by default. So, even when Kane scores a hat-trick against Hoffenheim,
So Harry Kane bags his 9th.
Or buries a late winner against Dortmund,
Slip through Kane. Is this the hat-trick moment? Harry Kane!
it lands abroad with a shrug. The assumption is that any top striker would thrive in that league, as though the record he broke, fastest to 70 Bundesliga goals in 67 appearances, could happen by accident. His consistency has ironically made him unforgettable. Fans crave volatility, the underdog moment, the highlight that shatters predictability. Kane offers reliability instead. He doesn't need redemption arcs or rebellious streaks. His story is that nothing rattles him. But the modern media system doesn't reward quiet excellence. It rewards conflict, personality, extremes. Kane offers none of that, so the world fills the silence by underrating him. He's also caught between generations. Haaland, Mbappe, and Bellingham shape the image of football's future, each carrying the magnetism of youth and showmanship. They represent a spectacle. Kane represents substance. In a digital landscape built for clips and trends, substance scrolls by too slowly to hold attention. So, while others dance through marketing loops, Kane's biggest headlines still link back to a trophy count that no longer reflects reality. Inside the game, though, you hear a different language. Coaches call him the most reliable trainer they've seen.
We can talk about qualities and talent, but in the end there's a lot of hard work for him to be where he is.
Teammates describe him as a machine of detail, not a leader who shouts, but one who builds calm through his precision.
He's a great player and he's a great servant to not just to England but to football.
Even opposition defenders admit that what makes him impossible isn't pace or flair, it's inevitability. They know what he's going to do, but they still can't stop it. And that's what defines the silence around his greatness. It's not that nobody sees him, it's that his performances leave no argument. Debate fuels popularity, and Kane gives you none. There's no scandal to dissect, no tactical hole to exploit, only efficiency. In an era driven by constant commentary, perfection doesn't breed conversation, it ends it. That's why his brilliance echoes softer than others. Yet, there's a strange strength in being uncelebrated. The absence of noise keeps Kane closer to football's core truth, the 90-minute cycle of work, execution, and renewal. No distraction, no storyline, just the next kick. Maybe that restraint is part of what allows him to keep showing up in decisive moments while others ride emotional roller coasters. Greatness doesn't need witnesses every time.
Premier League Golden Boot, third time he's won it in what could be his final season.
Sometimes it just needs repetition.
Obviously, it was a big step in my career to come to FC Bayern Munich, and it was just one of the best decisions I think I made in my life.
His career has become a study in modern paradox. The more flawless he gets, the less he fascinates the public. The higher his ceiling rises, the quieter the applause becomes. But within Bayern, in training grounds and dressing rooms, there's recognition of something older than trends, the understanding that when seconds count, Kane is the constant. And maybe that's his legacy forming in real time, not as football's loudest hero, but as its most predictable savior, which leads to the ultimate question of value. When the chaos clears, what's worth more? Brilliance that flashes for a season, or the kind that endures quietly for a decade? Harry Kane's story isn't defined by the trophies he hasn't lifted, but by the control he never loses. His version of clutch isn't cinematic, it's routine. Every calculated run, every late finish, every penalty rolled into the corner carries the same message. Pressure's only heavy if you let it in. His calm has become his signature. Do you think Harry Kane is currently the greatest striker in world football? Some say Erling Haaland, others say Kylian Mbappe. Let us know your thoughts on this in the comments. Thanks for watching.